When Shakur Stevenson of the United States stepped into the ring to face William Zepeda of Mexico, fans around the world knew they were about to witness a fascinating clash of styles. The matchup carried the intrigue of a true boxer versus brawler narrative, pitting Stevenson's masterful defense, timing, and sharp counterpunching against the relentless volume, pressure, and aggression of Zepeda. From the opening bell, the air was electric, and both fighters came in with something to prove, each carrying the pride of their nations on their shoulders. This was not just another fight, it was the kind of stylistic showdown that boxing purists dream about, and casual fans can't look away from. The first round set the tone immediately. Zepeda, true to form, charged forward with energy, throwing flurries of punches designed to overwhelm. He wanted to establish early that Stevenson wouldn't be able to control distance with ease. Stevenson, calm as ever, slipped, blocked, and circled, measuring his opponent with a sharp right jab. Each time Zepeda overcommit, Stevenson made him pay with a counter, though he never allowed himself to get reckless. It was like watching two different interpretations of boxing collide in real time, one man seeking to smother and break his opponent down through volume, and the other attempting to dissect and dismantle through precision. By the second and third rounds, Stevenson's strategy became clearer. He wasn't looking to match Zepeda punch for punch, he knew that would play into the Mexican's game. Instead, he worked behind his jab, maintaining range and landing clean, accurate shots that snapped Zepeda's head back. Every time the Mexican fighter surged forward with combinations, Stevenson used his superior footwork to glide out of danger and fire back sharp left hands. Yet, Zepeda's determination never wavered. Even when his punches missed or were blocked, he continued to throw, forcing Stevenson to stay active and disciplined. The relentless pressure had a psychological effect. Stevenson couldn't relax for a single second. As the fight wore on into the middle rounds, Zepeda's volume began to create moments of danger. In the fourth round, he managed to back Stevenson into the ropes, unleashing a storm of punches that brought the crowd to their feet. While many of the blows were caught on Stevenson's arms and gloves, a few sneaked through, landing to the body and reminding everyone that Zepeda's persistence was not to be underestimated. But just when it looked like momentum might shift, Stevenson countered with a perfectly timed right hook followed by a straight left down the middle, halting Zepeda's advance and reasserting control. The contrast was captivating. The raw aggression of the Mexican warrior against the surgical precision of the American technician. Round 5 and 6 were showcases of composure versus chaos. Zepeda kept charging, winging punches in bunches, sometimes throwing 5 or 6 at a time. His goal was to break Stevenson's rhythm, to make him uncomfortable, to drag him into a fight where finesse mattered less than sheer will. Stevenson, however, stayed disciplined, landing pinpoint counters, making Zepeda miss badly, and then punishing him for it. The American's defensive skills were on full display, head movement, footwork, and anticipation that seemed almost unfair at times. But the effort it took to keep Zepeda at bay was enormous. You could sense the physical and mental strain as Stevenson constantly calculated angles, pivoted away from danger, and looked for openings amidst the storm of punches. By the 7th round, fans could see both game plans clearly playing out. Zepeda's volume was beginning to add up, especially to the body, where he found more success as Stevenson focused on protecting his head. Every thudding body shot carried the potential to slow Stevenson's legs, which were crucial for his style. At the same time, Stevenson's accuracy and clean shots were impossible to ignore. Judges had a difficult task. Did they value the sheer volume and aggression of Zepeda, or the cleaner, sharper work of Stevenson? That tension made each round feel razor close, with neither man willing to give an inch. The 8th round was perhaps the highlight of the fight. Zepeda, sensing urgency, pressed forward harder than ever, cornering Stevenson and unleashing a furious assault of hooks and uppercuts. The crowd roared as it seemed Stevenson was trapped. But when a display of calm under the United States stepped into the ring to face William Zepeda of Mexico, and fans around the world knew they were about to witness a fascinating clash of styles. A right hook to the jaw followed by a straight left carried the intrigue of a true boxer versus brawler narrative. The American capitalized, pitting Stevenson's masterful another sharp jab, timing, pivoting out of danger, counterpunching, leaving against the relentless volume, pressure, it was a microcosm of the fight itself. From the opening overwhelming pressure, the air was electric, icy composure, and both fighters came in with something to prove. The 9th and 10th rounds carrying the pride of their nations on their shoulders. Zepeda never slowed. This was not just more than 100 punches. It was the kind of stylistic showdown that boxing purists dream about. His stamina was incredible. Fans can't look away from. Even though not every punch landed, the first round set the volume kept Stevenson working constantly. Zepeda, true to form, Stevenson charged forward with energy, stayed sharp, throwing flurries of punches with laser accuracy. He wanted to establish early that Stevenson wouldn't be able to control distance and drawing gasps from the crowd. Stevenson, but calm as ever, chin and heart blocked and circled, measuring his opponent that would have discouraged many fighters. Each time Zepeda overcommit, it was the kind of relentless determination that has made Mexican fighters legendary. and it was like watching two different interpretations of boxing collide in championship rounds. One man fighters knew the outcome break his opponent down through volume, and the other attempting to dissect and dismantle the fight through precision. While Stevenson's by the second and third rounds, his elite skills. Stevenson's strategy round 11 was particularly telling. He wasn't looking to match Stevenson began to open up a little more. He knew that sitting down on his punches and landing some of the cleanest shots of the fight. He worked behind his jab, a sharp counter, maintaining range and landing briefly, accurate shots that smacked Zepeda's head back. Instead, every time the Mexican fighter trading punches with combinations and forcing the American into exchanges he usually glide out of danger, and the crowd erupted sharp left hands, appreciating the courage and determination of both men, and recognizing that they were watching even when his punches missed their styles at the highest level. He continued to throw. In the 12th and final round, to stay active, the intensity reached its peak. The relentless pressure had a psychological effect and came out throwing everything relaxed for a single second. His punches were wild, but filled with desperation and heart. Zepeda's volume began to create moments of danger one last time. In the 4th round, Stevenson, he managed to back Stevenson, was not about to let victory slip away. Unleashing a storm of punches that brought the crowd to their feet, landing clean counters, while many of the blows were caught on Stevenson's arms and gloves. A few final seconds saw landing both men body and reminding everyone to take a step back. Persistence was not to be underestimated. But just when the bell looked like momentum, the crowd gave a standing ovation. Stevenson countered with a perfectly timed right hook followed by a straight left down the middle, halting Zepeda's advance and reasserting a display of elite boxing skills. The contrast was captivating. As the fighters returned to their corners and awaited the decision against the surgical precision of the American scorecards reflected the razor-thin margins were showcases of composure. Some rounds were clearly Stevenson's. Zepeda kept marked by accuracy and punches and bunches, while others leaned towards Zepeda's relentless pressure and higher activity. His goal was to break Stevenson's rhythm finally came, to make him uncomfortable, Stevenson's hand to drag him into a fight, earning a finesse mattered less than sheer will. His composure, accuracy, however, and defensive brilliance had carried the day. Landing pinpoint counters, stock only rose in the eyes of fans, and then punishing him for one of the most skilled fighters. The American's defensive skills were on full display. His relentless willpower made sure the fight would be remembered. And anticipation that seemed almost unfair. Analysts praised Stevenson's ability to stay calm under such pressure and was enormous. Effective punches the physical and mental strain by Stevenson constantly calculated praised Zepeda's heart, pivoted away from danger, and refusal to stop amidst the storm of punches. The clash highlighted the beauty of boxing itself. Fans could see two men with completely different approaches meeting in the ring. Zepeda's volume was beginning to add up, and giving fans a thrilling spectacle. Where he found more success, Stevenson walked away still undefeated on protecting his reputation as one of the slickest and most skilled fighters in the world. Stevenson's legs, Zepeda left with even greater respect. At the same time, he could hang with the very best, and that his relentless styles were impossible to ignore. This fight reminded everyone why boxing remained so captivating. Did they value the sheer volume and aggression? It wasn't about a one-punch knockout or a dominant performance by one man. That tension was about the collision of philosophies, razor close, the test of with neither man willing to give an inch, and the demonstration of what happens when two elite athletes push each other to the limit. Zepeda, sensing urgency, back at Stevenson versus harder than ever, not just as another fight on the records, and unleashing a memorable night where styles truly clashed, where the crowd roared as it seemed both men elevated.